Good day, students, and welcome once again to our class 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the World. We are now in Quarter 2, Week 2, our lessons. I am your subject teacher, Mrs. Claudia J. Abenoja. Please have ready your notebooks and pens for taking down notes. We have the same learning competency for this week. Identify representative texts and authors from Asia, North America, Europe, Latin America, and Africa, with the following objectives to be met for this week. Demonstrate understanding and appreciation of a literary text, and write a close analysis, critical interpretation of a literary text. Going back with what we have last week, let's take a review of our 5-5 method, 5-finger, 5 words method. The 5-5 method was focused on the story I Am Malala, the girl who stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban. The 5 fingers of a hand represents the following. The thumb talks about the title impression. The forefinger about the admired character or characters. The middle finger is the captivating plot. The ring finger is a central theme. And the little finger is about the author's message. Now, based on the story I Am Malala, what do you think is represented by the thumb or the title impression that you have? Could be discrimination. How about the characters you admired most in the story? Of course, there is Malala. Who else? Yes, her parents. How about the captivating plot in the story? On my part, it was when the soldier asked for Malala while they were riding their bus or school bus. Yeah. For the ring finger, the central theme of the story, of course, there is the courage of Malala and the determination for her advocacy. And what do you think is the message of the author? Correct. You need to stand up and fight for your rights, whatever the cause may be. Very good. The story of Malala is just one of those touching and moving stories about Africans' plight. Their literary works mostly depicts about its culture and its people. Hence, the following facts which led the world to appreciate Africa more. Here are the facts. The development of African literature, from its oral tradition up to the current trends, reflects the history of its people, the continent's feelings, and the minds of its people. African literature takes pride in their identity as a people, along with the rich heritage. Negritude is a framework of critique and literary theory developed mainly by Francophone intellectuals, writers, and politicians of the African diaspora during the 1930s. It is aimed at raising and cultivating Black consciousness across Africa and its diaspora. The Negritude movement opened the avenue for writers to celebrate what is truly African. By the way, when we say Francophone intellectuals, these are French-speaking people or French-speaking writers, while African diaspora refers to the movement, voluntary or involuntary, from and to Africa. On your notebooks, do activity for task number 9. Appreciate Africa, or AA. The instruction says, look at the given pictures below, then write word or sentences which best describe them. Here are other pictures. Okay? Do you understand what to do? Very good. Okay. On your module, page 27, read the poem Africa, My Africa by David Diop. Then fill in the boxes with the needed answers for your task number 10. Okay, that is your task number 10. Africa, My Africa. Of course, the center circle talks about the title of the poem. Then you answer the questions that follow. What is the tone of the poem or of the text? What is the theme of the poem? What's the writer's purpose in writing the poem? And what are the insights you've gained from the poem? All right? Have you done that? Still basing on the poem Africa, My Africa, do task number 11. Share your beauty. Create an acrostic using the word beauty to narrate your personal experiences being discriminated or treated unfairly because of your physical features or flaws. See the example below as your guide. Your example is the name Leonard. That is how acrostic look like. And your job is to complete the word beauty. Okay? Come on, let's check your acrostics. Okay. The next activity will review how well you can remember the literary writers and their literary works we've discussed last week. Task 12 is points to ponder. Since you have identified the literary writers and their literary works, what are the essential things you have learned and pondered? In the context of literary criticism, how beneficial is its use in analyzing, evaluating, and interpreting a literary text? Write your answers in the box. Okay. Still about writers and their literary texts, let's move on to the next task, and that is bubble coat or BQ. Using the diagram below or the next slide, create a bubble coat based on the given questions. Your given questions are, number 1, identify or name your favorite writer from Asia, North America, Europe, Latin America, and Africa with his or her literary work. How does it contribute to cultivate your appreciation in literature, particularly in the context of its literary genre, tradition, and forms? Emphasize your salient points why this author and his or her literary work marked an impact to your life as an individual. And that is how your activity or task look like. You write your answers on the tires around your favorite literary author and work. Do you understand? Okay. Right. Good. Children, thank you for doing and submitting all your tasks. Now, I want you to read the poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Who is Robert Frost, by the way? Robert Lee Frost, commonly known as Robert Frost, was an American poet and a winner of 4 Pulitzer Prizes. He was born March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, California, USA. He died in January 29, 1963 in Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Yes, he won 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry and was dis- distinguished as the U.S. Poet Laureate holder. His famous works, aside from The Road Not Taken, of course, are Fire and Ice, Mending Walls, Birches, Out, Out, Nothing Gold Can Stay, and Home Burial. Okay, now let's us check how well did you understand the poem The Road Not Taken. Number one, the poet writes, two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. What does the word diverge mean? Appeared, curved, branched off. Mhm. Number two, the two roads might symbolize A. Different ways to return home, B. Different ways to get to town, or C. Different choices in life. Next, which feature of the selection most strongly indicates that it is a poem? It is divided into lines and stanzas, it appeals to the sense, or it is told in first person. Next question. What does grassy and wanted wear in the eighth line of the poem mean? First choice, not many people had walked this road. Then, many people had walked the grassy road, and the grass was too high for anyone to walk through it. Next question. What conclusion can the reader draw about the speaker in the first stanza? He is lonely, he is hesitant and thoughtful, or he is hurried and rushed. Okay? This question. What is the theme of the poem? Is it about love? Is it about war? Is it about courage? Explain your answer. If you were in the shoes of the poetic persona, which road will you choose and why? Will you choose the most trodden, or will you choose the less walked on, and why? Okay, very good. As your task number 14, critique and interpret, write a close analysis or critical interpretation of the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Use the rubric on page 32 of your module as your basis for the rating later on. Use an A4 sheet of bond paper as your answer sheet. Okay? As your final output for this module, do task number 15, Summary, Reasons, and Insights, or the SRI. If you were to link or connect your life today based on a specific literary text, what would it be? Or should I say, what is your story of life? You may use the diagram on the next slide to fill out with your answers. The questions that you have to ponder on are these. Provide the title of your identified literary masterpiece which mirrors or reflects your life experience. Next, provide the central points or summary of the chosen literary masterpiece. Then, explain your reasons why this literary masterpiece depicts your life story. And then the last one, the last part, share your insights about the literary masterpiece. And this is how it should look like. Your task number 15, summary, reasons, and insights. Are you all done? Very good. Very good. Now, to end this session, let me leave this quote to all of you because we are on the different norms of learning. Education is the key to opportunity. It is a ticket out of poverty. This was from George H.W. Bush, former President of the United States. And I would say, yes, education is our ticket out of our quagmire today, out of what we have and where we are today. It is the only opportunity for us to move up from where we are and from what we are. So please value your education. Do more. Do good in the name of education. Goodbye, class, and God bless us all.